Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to another video. All right, you guys, it's a serious month for us. There's a lot, I don't want to say there's a lot going on, but there's not a lot coming in, if that makes any sense. So grab your coffee, grab whatever it is that your beverage of choice, jump right in with us. We are doing our October zero-based budget. I know I should have let you guys know that I would be live, but pretty much always on the first of the month, you're going to get a budget video, and this is the way that I can do them. It's going to be, it's already a tough month. I know that several of my friends today messaged, and this is not my testimony. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Y'all type in the comments, let me know who's here. This is not my testimony specific, but several of my friends messaged me that their spouses have been furloughed with all that's going on right now with the shutdown. And while that's not my experience, it's still very, very tight. Last night we were at prayer. It's Tuesday night prayer. And hey, Miss Sue, good to see you. And the girl who was leading prayer, Heather, she was asking, is there, anybody going through anything? And so one lady shared about a physical illness. Then another lady shared about tight finances. And I chimed in, hey, Tiff, good to see you guys. And I hope I don't cry. Y'all pray for me. Because I'm not being emotional to elicit emotions from people, lest people think that that is not the truth. Sometimes things that just hit you at a different pace than normal. So after the one girl got done sharing about her and her husband's finances, I chimed in. I said, I'm just going to be brave and just jump in and talk about it. I said, the kids and I have experienced the tightest 3 years of our life. It's been 3 years that we've really, really been excruciatingly tight. But this month for sure, it almost feels like it's just, you can't even, it's like, what is happening right now? That doesn't make any sense, right? And I said, I'm giving, and before anybody says, well, you giving tithe and offering, please don't do that, right? God's been too good for me not to tithe and offer. I know the Lord. God is my source. No other person, no other place, no other thing is my source. God is my source. Now, if he causes a person to give unto my bosom, amen. It's because I've given, right? So don't even say anything about that. But it is at such, and I said, I said, all my bills are paid. I still do my offering. I still give to the church. I do what I'm required to do and what I feel in my heart to do, as me and the Lord have traveled all of these years together. I said, but I am tired of the fact of wondering if I'm going to have enough to make it through the month. And even to the point where I'm tired of having to depend on child support, because child support is going to come to an end. If Jackson does enlist in the military at 17, even with our signatures, because we would have to sign for him like we did Trandon, child support immediately stops when they enter the military. That's a done deal. If he goes to college, he should get another year because he won't be 18 until another year. He's got like a year and a half. But even in that, it's still going to stop, right? And so there has to be something coming in. I told my sister the other day, I said, I'm thinking about even getting a part-time job because I don't want to be, living so tight that nothing can ever happen. And typically what ends up happening is in October, which is at the end of this month, I would get my supplement. I would take that and I would fill back up all those little empty coffers, right? Just so we would be able to float for the next year. But I'm even tired of doing that. Like, I want to have some true, genuine baby step number 3 money saved up just in case something were to go haywire. And at this point of my life, that cannot happen, right? We're just not at that point where something can go crazy. We've already had enough crazy stuff. And even to the point, and you're going to hear this in just a second anyway, I'm totally not doing any grocery money. I had to use grocery money to get caught back on life, right? So if I got caught back up on life, that's the end of the grocery money. And I did put a little bit in savings because I am down to bare bones in my savings. And when I mean bare bones, I have enough in there to keep the account open, and that is it. So I put some in savings, not a lot, but a little bit. And hopefully over the next several weeks, we'll be able to put more into savings, because that is my focus for this month. There is there's no Goodwill, there's no Amazon, there's none of that. None of that is happening at all. If you'll do me a favor, like the video, share, subscribe, do all those things. It again helps push us out into the algorithm, and we appreciate that. So there is none of that extra spending. There's no extras to spend, right? It's just all gone. I had counted on a specific amount of money that was supposed to come in after I did my summer training. That money did not come in. What ended up happening was one of the requirements was that I teach a professional development in August. Well, I didn't know that. And so, hey, everybody, good to see everybody. So I didn't know that I needed to do that professional development. I was not on the schedule. So when I chatted with the person who was in charge of that, they said, well, if you do professional development, sorry, y'all, the kids are coming in and the dogs are going crazy. They said, well, if you do professional development in November, then we can count that towards that bit of money. So it still will not come in till the end of November if it comes in. Good to see everybody. I'm glad that you all are here. And we all, I think we all have to become, ma'am, get it together. We all have to become, we all have to figure out a side hustle that's not a job, right? We all got to figure out something that's going to make us coins. That's not a job. Sister, will you please close the door? Sorry, y'all. The dogs are going nuts. And it's just like crazy. When I went back to look, because today I paid my mortgage and I went back to look, I'm almost, let me see, $200 more in my mortgage than I was last year. And so that's $200 every month, right? That's an extra $2,400. Gas is up. Groceries are up. And I was doing groceries, but you still got to have more grocery money just to maintain what you was doing before. So it's all the things, but this is an extremely, extremely tight month for my kids and I. I have 2 trips that I have to take, going on a work trip, and I have a pastor's trip with several of my Titus 2 ladies, but there will be no more trips after this because I can't afford going into graduation season to be gone, because Shamika's graduating from Stanford University and I've got to go for that. And Jackson is graduating from high school and I have to have money for the graduation party and all the things, right? So I can't afford to do any more pastor's trips right now. So that's off the table for a while. I don't mind about that. Well, and when I say that, I am a pastor of an international women's ministry. I do not charge tithe. I do not charge offerings. I don't take up offerings, none of that. If anybody wants to bless me in those ministries, they are more than welcome to do it. I show up because that's what the Lord requires of me to do. I have one regular partner. I think that's what I'll call her. She's a partner. Every single month, she puts something to the ministry. Every single month. I tithe and offer off of that. And that's how I've been able to travel some. And it's not a ton, but if, over time, it all builds. And I'm going on trips once or twice a year. So it builds up in order to pay for trip, tickets, hotels. I build points to pay for hotels. And so at this point, that one partner is not enough to sustain the ministry. It's not like when you have a actual ministry and you're taking up tithes and offering every week. I don't do that, even though I'm teaching and preaching every week. That's neither here nor there. The Lord will provide for that part of it. But I was supplementing some of those trips with some of my funds. There are no more trips to be taken, right? I do have to go on a work trip. They will pay for, they're not even paying me gas this time because we got a county vehicle. There's 3 of us going. So we got a county vehicle. So I don't have to worry about gas. Praise the Lord. And then they will pay for my meals. So of course, when I get back, I'll submit my reimbursement for meals. That won't come back until the middle of November, but it will still be for meals. I did just submit a travel reimbursement for September. So I think I'm going to get like $63. Perfectly fine. That's 2 tanks of gas. I'll take it. I don't even have gas money this month, y'all. It is indeed a situation. But anywho, God is still on the throne. He's never forgotten me. He's never left me. He's never forsook me and my kids. We've always been able to eat. And here's the thing, I have food in my pantry. So we're doing a complete pantry challenge. I had even planned $100 for groceries this month, and I don't have that. I was going to do $25 a week. That's not even there. So we are definitely for sure doing a pantry challenge. Now, let me just soothe some of you, because I don't want, hey, everybody, good to see everybody. I don't want anybody to think that my kids are not eating. We have food in this house. There is food. But sister works, and sister does her own separate thing because she's doing her meal prepping and all that stuff. So she allocates, which I told her at the beginning of the year, you got to put aside money for groceries so that when you move out, you know that you can feed yourself. So she allocates her money every 2 weeks for her meal preps and all of her things. Jackson and I do not eat her stuff because she's doing her own thing. Jackson has a job. If Jackson wants to budget in funds for extra groceries that I don't have in the house, then he is able to do that. Jackson likes DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that stuff. There is none of that, sir, because he's not making as many hours now with school back that he was doing in the summer. So everybody in this house is on a very strict, tight budget. But don't think that the kids aren't eating. They're able to eat anything they want to provide for themselves that's not already provided in the house. Okay, I just want to say that. We're going to jump into this budget and just kind of go through it so that you can kind of see where I am and what's going on. It looks a lot the same, but it's very different. So let me just get my comments up where I'm able to see, because I'm getting ready to change my screen. I just want to make sure that I can get my comments up. Okay, very good. So let me share my screen so that you're able to see all the things. And again, it's just one of those things where this is just where we are at the moment. Will it stay this way for always? I don't believe that it will, but I think that this is just where we are in this season of life, and the Lord will provide for us. Am I worried? Absolutely not. But I don't want to live based on, am I going to get this amount of money or this amount of money or whatever the case may be? As it is on one of my social platforms last month, I made $148. This month, I think I have made $59. And that's for a whole month of posts. One post that went extremely viral, another post that went almost viral. And I think on that one static post, it was like 170,000 reach. I think I made $2.34. So the whole game has been changed as far as how you're making money in the social spaces these days, which that was a huge part about 3 or 4 years ago for us. It really helped us, but it is not necessarily helpful now. So let me jump in to this so that you all can kind of see what we're dealing with. I'll put these comments down here so I can see them just in case. So my budget, or my bring home amount this month was $3,522.08. So that was up about $200. Remember, they're now taking our $720 supplements and putting it in each month. So every month is an extra $720. But I actually put that money, I put $400 of that into my summer cash. That'll be split between 2 months, and that'll give me almost as much in the summer as I get during the year, but I won't have extra expenses. And somebody remind me to talk about the car. Talk about the car. Somebody just remind me in a minute to talk about the car. Okay. So that was my monthly payroll. I did get a travel reimbursement from October. No, from what was this? August. No, maybe it was September. Maybe it came at the end of September, so it had to have been September. Maybe it was the end of August. I don't know. $31.64. Right now, the only thing that I submit reimbursements for is if I have to go from my office to the central office where we have our meetings. If it's a virtual meeting, we just meet virtually. And if they need us to come in, then I will submit for that. Me going to one school, I can't submit reimbursements. Going to the other school, I can't submit reimbursements because that would be my school of the day. So I'm not getting paid to go to my workspace of the day, even if I choose to leave that building and then go back to my office. That's all on me. But I did get $31.64. Back to my unexpected blessings, gifts, all that. So I made $12 from Audible. So I was thankful for that. Somebody must have bought my book on Audible, and I just got paid for that. And Audible has that whole royalty system through Amazon has about a 45-day hold. So even if I make money, it's still going to be another 45 days before that money ever comes through. So that one sale was huge, and I appreciate that. And then Jackson did pay me $30 for the last 2 weeks of taking him back and forward to work. So I take him to work, and then I go pick him up, take him, come back home, go pick him up, come back home. So that gave me a total of $3,595.82. Okay. My mortgage is $1,122. I wanted to move that up again, pay a little bit more towards the principal. So I pay, and I think it's 11 cents, $1,122.11. I paid $27.89 extra to make that payment $1,150. I still believe in my heart of hearts that I need to be able to pay a little something extra towards that principal. My mortgage is now coming down extremely comparative to what market prices are here. If I sold my house today, I would make a very hefty profit on the sale of the house. But if I tried to take that money and put it back into a new house in the area that I live in, I would be house poor. I would not be able to afford a mortgage paying the prices now, because house prices are about 3 times as high as when I purchased my home 9 years ago in the area that I live. So for me, until the Lord sends my husband that's going to come and take me away, I need to stay where I am. Paid my utility bill was $166.49, which was down from last month a little bit. So I'm thankful for that. However, the water bill was up slightly. $80.39 was the water bill. My cell phone bill was $152. Now, let me explain. So my Spectrum bill, my internet, was like cheaper. Then it started creeping up, right? So now it's $100. So I got the Verizon Cube internet. I did not set it up last month. So I still had to pay the it's $60, but then there was like a $35, $40 first time fee, initiation, something or other. I don't know exactly what that was. The lady told me, I can't remember. So that was an extra $104. My cell phone bill is like $44. So when those two are combined, it's going to be like $100 for both of those. But this first month, I had to pay that initiation activation fee. So that was $152. I actually add just about $2 or $3 or $4 because Shamika gets that through Cash App, and she has to cash out Cash App. And so, of course, Cash App will cost you a little bit of money to cash it out. So I try to cover that expense for her. Because I did not cancel my Spectrum internet, I still had to pay that bill. So what I'm going to do tonight or tomorrow is make sure that all of my devices are now switched over to the Verizon Cube. And then tomorrow or whatever day I get it set up, I'm then going to cancel Spectrum. So Spectrum will not be on there for next month. I just knew I waited too late to do it for this time. So I ended up having to pay again. Was that my intention? It was not. But there were just so many things happening and going on that I could not get it taken care of. I will not have that problem next month. So that'll be an extra $152 that will be back into the budget, which will be helpful, which is why it's a little bit tight right now. Nothing in household repairs at the moment, although I cannot forget that because you never know. Stuff happens in a house and you just need to have money to the side for that. Household miscellaneous. Now, again, remember, I had counted on that extra $200 to take care of a few things. I didn't get that, so I ended up having to pay for that out of my paycheck. $148.25 already paid out. And then there's another $107 that I have to pay as soon as it passes through my credit card, because I paid with my credit card trying to build points again, because I build points paying with my credit card. I think I got 15,000 points right now. And I use the credit card that helps me get hotel rooms. And I now have one that helps me get flights. So I still have $107 of miscellaneous things that I have to pay for once it clears off on the credit card. And I'm hoping that's in the next day or two, because it comes due on the 4th. And I want to make sure that I pay it off before I incur a charge, because I don't want to incur a charge. I've never been late on a credit card payment, and I don't plan to be late on a credit card payment now. So I'm hoping within the 2nd and 3rd, it go ahead and clears, and then I can pay it on the 3rd, and then it'll be back to a zero balance by the 4th, which is the due date. Mr. Jerome, this is the last month that Mr. Jerome is coming, because he does not cut the grass November through April. And he comes back he comes back in May, right? So he doesn't cut the grass during the winter season. We don't have a lot of grass. It's perfectly fine. But I did get Mr. Jerome 2 grass cuttings. I do have some sinking funds that I have not sank yet. So I'm going to keep moving past that. Wonder of wonders, Shamika helped me get this automatically set up. My Roth IRA is $75. It's coming out of that every single month now on an automatic draw. That's not the Roth IRA through my work. That's a Roth IRA that I have that's extra, right? I had someone bless me to be able to start that. And so that's an extra amount of money that's over to the side. And for about 2 years, I didn't put any money in there. This is not nearly the amount. You can add $7,000 per year into this. And I wish I could add $7,000. Right now, that's not my testimony. And so I'm just going to go with this $75 a month until I'm able to do something a little bit better. Jackson has his Roth IRA, but we had some issues getting his banking information set up. So now we're on a restriction for 90 days. We can't put any money in or take any money out on his account for the next 90 days, because he had some issues with his mutual fund and his global cash account. Those are not accounts that can pull money out for that type of transaction. So now it's having to come out of my bank, but he would put his money into my bank, and then I would draft it from my account. We went through so many changes trying to get it fixed that there were too many changes in one sitting that they said you're on a 90-day restriction. But mine is set up and it's going. Today was the first automatic withdrawal, and it went through fine. I do have some sinking funds, Amazon Prime, PureFlix. Those are sinking funds. Haven't sank those yet. My Healthways gym will come out in a few days. Jackson's gym will come out in a few days, and prayerfully, I will get a child support before his gym comes out. It's about middle of the month. Typically, I pay that, but for this month, technically, it will be paid with child support. Moving down, he has a high school sinking fund. He just needed pants the other day, so I put money in his account, which means that the account that I have for him is a little bit less now. So every time I get child support the first of the month, I always put $50 in there. $50 times 12 months is like $600. That should be plenty enough for him to get all the shoes, all the shirts, all the pants, all the things that he needs for the school year. We just might have to piecemeal it together. He get a little something here, a little something there. And again, he works. So I'm teaching him responsibility. You got a job, you want a Grubhub, or you want to get a new pair of pants. I mean, I will provide for him what he needs. However, he has to now learn how to manage his funds. I don't need a new camera, y'all. Let me tell you what ended up happening with my phone. For all this long time, I've been out of storage. I mean, it's at the end. My videos cut out because I don't have any more storage. Well, something told me the other day, this was a couple weeks ago, something said, Google it to see what the problem was. So I ended up going to my storage and looking, and I found something called attachment. So if you're having this, look this up. Every time you send a meme, and every time you send a video, or every time you download something, even if you delete that message, it still stays in your attachments. So I had to go under attachments and delete everything that I'd ever sent from years and years ago. And it cleared up about 100 gigabytes of space. I have a 256 on my phone, which should be plenty enough to do what I do, but it was full because of all those attachments. So as I do stuff now, I'm more mindful. Hey, don't forget to go and delete that. Even if I keep the messages, I can't see whatever it was I sent before, which is fine. I've already sent it. You already seen it. Praise the Lord. We can move on. But because that I found that I don't necessarily have to now have a new camera because I was going to get a new phone. If I get a new phone now, it's going to be because I want a new phone, not because I have to have it. Does that make sense? So far, so good on what I've been able to film lately. I'm okay with it. And I'm not in a big hurry to get a new phone now because I have freed up about 100 gigs of space. And I'll keep continuing to go back through. I was sending a few videos with a friend of mine earlier today, and I'm like, I just need to delete that because I want to make sure that I keep that space free. And it did so much for my heart when I was looking at all my storage is gone, and now it's like only this much storage and this much free space. So that made me feel better that I was not in a press to get a cell phone. So thank you, Holy Spirit, for giving me that. Netflix is $20. We used to be able to use Shamika's Disney Plus. It was actually Jackson's because it came with Jackson's phone when he had the first Samsung phone. Well, now they're getting like Netflix and it has to be in the same household. So we don't have Disney Plus anymore here where we can access it. I was almost tempted to go in and do Disney Plus, but that's why I got rid of all the cable stuff because I didn't want all paying all those bills. Because every time you get a new subscription, it might only be $2.99, but it's $2.99 every month. So I don't want all that. I'm just paying for Netflix, which I do like. And one of the things I was able to find on my TV, because I was watching something called Life Below Zero. It's about these people in Alaska. I love that kind of stuff. And I was watching on Disney Plus, but then I figured out if I went to the Roku channel, I could watch reruns of it. It just has ads. Roku channel is free. I don't mind about the ads because it just plays and I'm doing something usually anyway. So it's not going to bother me. So trying to dial back on those subscriptions because I'm not paying. I don't want to pay the money. I'm paying for Netflix, which is fine. And I also have my PureFlix, which I love. And then I'm also paying for Hallmark Plus, but that's once a year, right? So it's $59. I pay it once a year. I'm fine with that. Those are the three we have and whatever comes with the Roku. I'm good with those. I'm not paying anything else. Sliding on down. Okay. So here's where food got to where we are with food right now. I put $100 in there because I was planning to do $25 a week. I'm actually doing a cut too. I'm doing a cut for my health. So that means I'm cutting my calories and I'm just trying to stick with more of the fish type meals. And I was just going to do $25 a week. I get a big thing of tilapia and some broccoli. And that was going to be my meals every day for the month of October. Well, that $100 is out, right? So I don't have anything in that category. I did take out $50 for preps, and I just sent sister to the grocery store. She was going to pick up toilet paper, paper towels, and dish pods. Between all of that, that should have been all the money that we had for any of that. Going down to eating out. Now, Shakima, you don't have money for groceries, but you have money to eat out. Here's the thing. I have a friend and their birthday passed. I was not able to, it was in September. I was not able to spend time with them during their birthday. So in order for us to get caught back up and celebration, I'm going to take them out for their birthday, but it's just going to be this month, not last month, because it didn't work out in either of our schedules for us to kind of get together. And when you have friends who you know would take you out, I want to be able to reciprocate that. I don't believe, because I've already been online looking at the place that we're going to look at the prices and look at the venue, because I've never been there before either. I want to be able to make sure that I can cover the meal plus a nice tip. So I figured $100 would be perfect. So if I don't spend all of that, then whatever's left will go back to the groceries that I had planned to do for the month. Again, the kids have their grocery money if they want groceries other than what is already in the house. We're straight. I'm probably going to do a weekly pantry update, just like I would do a grocery haul, since I don't have grocery hauls planned for this month. So you are going to get a video that would be groceries, but it's just going to be groceries that we have already in the house. I do have one video that's I'm planning to film. I plan to do it today, but it will not happen today, probably more on Friday, which will be a batch cooking of rotisserie chicken meals, because we have 4 rotisserie chickens in our house that I need to use the meat from. And so I'm going to batch out a couple of recipes, and I'll do that in a video. That's just a preview and an update. Moving down, personal care. Personal care, I got my nails done, and I got my toes and my nails done. And then I got some personal care items because Jackson gave me the $30. So it cost me $90 for my nails and my feet and a tip. And then Jackson gave me $30. So I put that towards hair care. I got some conditioner, some mousse. I had to get some deodorant, some body wash, just personal care items. Shakima, you can't afford groceries, but you're going to get your hair and nails done. I was telling someone the other day, there is one thing that makes me feel innately like a woman, and that's getting my nails done. I know that I am a woman. I was born a woman. I identify as a woman. I'm going to die a woman, all of that. But the one thing that innately makes me feel like a woman is to get my nails done. And I know that is a lavish expense for some people. For me, I'm okay with that because I have food in the pantry. The P.O. box. So I haven't done any of those sinking funds just yet. I did have some natural supplements I needed to get, but those are out as well. Recreation and travel. I do have a trip, 2 trips coming up. And so I am going to have travel funds. For the one trip that I'm taking with the Titus 2 ladies, I'm actually rooming with another person. So I don't have my own room. The pastor don't have her own room. I'm rooming with a lady that I've roomed with before on a different trip, and we're going to split the cost. I think I had 40,000 points for the room. So it helped the price go down a smidge, and we're going to split the remainder of the bill when we get there. So for all intents and purposes, I am cutting that in half. There's another lady who may room with us. If she does, that'll be in thirds because there's 2 beds and a couch. I can take the couch. The ladies can have the bed. We ain't there to sleep anyway. We there for the conference. So it's going to be great. If that does happen and I don't have to do, when I'm not renting a car this time, because the church we're going to is only like 5 minutes from the hotel. And so we thought if we needed to, we would just Uber. We'll Uber over and Uber back. It's cheaper than trying to get the car and have the insurance and all the blah, blah, blah. They do have a shuttle from the airport to the hotel. So I don't have to Uber there because it's 5 minutes. It's a mile from the airport to the hotel is a mile. They said, just call when you get here and we'll come pick you up. Very good. Jackson will get money in his savings just like he always does. I don't even have enough this month for the dogs, which I get them food and I get them their heartworm medication. They will eventually get it all. They don't need the heartworm medication till about middle of the month, and they have enough food to last them until about middle of the month. By then, I'll have some other things that will have come in, and so the dogs will be fine. I do have a subscription I have to pay for. This is something that I got in August, and so I had 4 payments to make, and you just pay it in payments is how it works out. So that'll come out, but it's about the middle of the month as well. So that will be covered as well. Moving down, gas, I put $30 in my tank yesterday, I believe. And so that is it for right now. I don't have any additional gas money. Although I do have to go to a funeral tomorrow. It's about 2 hours for me. And so I will be able to scrounge is the wrong word. I'll be able to pull a few dollars to make sure I have gas to get home. It's fine. very close to one of my schools, and the other school is not very far. So within traveling, I'm not doing a ton of traveling like I was when I was driving to that third school. That third school was really far from me, and I'm not worried about it. Again, I've submitted my request. By the time middle of the month comes, I should have that $63, which will then go back into the gas tank. It all works out. I had to get my car inspected. I had to pay my taxes to get my registration. I did all of that. I did my registration yesterday. I did my inspection on Saturday. And then 2 weeks prior to that, I had to get my oil changed. So all of that had to happen, right? You got to do what you got to do. I had some money saved, but I still had to get all that done. Moving down, here's where it kind of bites you a little bit. And I know people will be upset about this. Be okay. So my tithe was $639. My offering was $319. I spent $34 on, what did I spend that money on? Oh my goodness. Can't remember what I bought, but it was something. And then I put $94.71 into my savings account. That just is the roundest number that I had, having a total spent of $3,379.01, giving us $216.81 left. So I still have the gym for me, the gym for Jackson, Netflix. Those things are going to come out regardless. So that's $30, $60, $80 out of that, which is going to take that down to $130-ish, right? So then I have to choose between the dogs and then gas. I'm always going to choose gas, but I have gas money coming in the middle of the month, which I'm okay with. And I'll get the dogs what they need as they need it. The kids and I have chatted, and if for some reason we cannot buy dry dog food, we do have gizzards in the freezer. I have 2 packages of those. They don't eat a ton. We don't give them a lot. We do have white rice. If we need to make rice, we can make rice. I have carrots in the garden. We can cut up carrots and do for the dogs. So we can make a homemade dog food for a small amount of time. And I actually just ordered I requested from TikTok Shop a sample of salmon oil that will helpfully we'll get approved for, and that will give them a little a supplement as well. I don't foresee us not being able to get dog food, but just in case, they have enough for at least another week-ish, kind of work it out. But if for some reason we're running short, we can always cook a few things. I get rotisserie chicken from my friend every single week. We do the bones. I can do a broth for them. I can just low and slow roast those so that the dogs can get the bone broth, and it will be fine. Everybody's going to be okay. So that's kind of where we are at the moment as far as the budget. I did go to the bank. I got my cash on hand. So I got the $100 for the birthday, the $50 for the preps, and then the $30 I got for my personal care items. I got the money for Mr. Jerome. So all in all, in cash, where I usually get about $870 of cash, I got $300. That's all I got. Didn't get any grocery money, and I didn't get any gas money out because there wasn't any to get. The dogs, again, $150 is what I allocate for them. It's usually a little bit less. Every 10th bag of dog food is free. So I'm not sure how many dog foods I've gotten so far. I can always get dog food from my sister because sometimes she'll get it from me, and it works out fine. All in all, we should end up with like $36.81. And that's before any child support has come in. So that's everything that my paycheck will budget in, right? The other thing that I can do, I don't want to do this, but I can. I have money put aside in summer cash. If I need to go to the bank and say, listen, I'm a little bit short, I need to borrow from this summer cash money, I can do that one time without a penalty. So if I need it, because I know this month I had an extra $400 and I was already having $393 taken out. So it's like almost $800. I could go and take the extra $400 out just for this one time. They won't let me do it again, but I'm thinking I'm going to be okay. Just let it ride, let it roll, see how y'all work it out, and it's going to be great. But that's where we are. Now, the thing I was going to say about the car, right? because I was thinking this. Jackson needs a car at the end of the year for college. He will need a car. He hasn't saved up enough. I've saved up some. I saved up more for him than I did for sister. So I saved up some for him, but not enough for him to get a car. And he's really not working enough hours at the moment to be able to save a ton either. So I was thinking, how in the world could I afford a car payment? I technically can't afford a car payment unless I go back and I look at the part of the supplement that they've now put into my monthly paycheck. Once I get these bills under control to the point where I'm not overspending, trying to compensate for something that's supposed to come that didn't come, I will then be able to have about enough for a car payment if I need to give Jackson my car and I need to get a new car. I'm not letting my kids get a car where they have to make a payment. If anybody's going to make a payment, it's going to be me. I don't want to make a payment. I do not want to make a car payment. I am perfectly fine never making another car payment in my life. However, if somebody has to do it, it will be me. And if I have to go and check on Jackson, I'd much rather have a brand newer car to go and do all that road miles that I'm going to have to do to make sure that he is okay. It could be that they won't let, what college he picks, won't let freshmen have a car on campus. That's still a thing. If that's the case, that works out extra perfect for me because then I don't have to worry about it. And then somebody could always gift Jackson a car, which I would be okay with that as well. Don't let the Lord, let the Lord use you now. Okay. So at this point, there's no concern over it. Just planning ahead a little bit. With that being said, all the things that need to be paid thus far are paid, or there's a little bit of money left in there for it to be paid. Do I have concern? No. Has it been a little bit of a challenge trying to wrap my mind around being this tight? Yes, that is the gospel truth. I've not seen it tight this much in the last several years. Again, will I get some social media money? Yes, I have, I think $60 from one social platform. And I think here on YouTube, we made about $200 and some dollars, $230 some dollars. We didn't make a ton, but we did make something. So praise God. That's enough to go ahead and funnel in some of those sinking funds, which we need to do. That'll be perfectly fine. And then again, we will get child support. It's just not here right now. And sometimes when you don't have it here right now, it makes it a challenge trying to, put it all on paper to see how the end of the month's going to play out when you already know how the front of the month's playing out. But no fear, because God has always taken care of us. The Lord will give me a supernatural strategy for my family. He always does. And I know that. Am I going to trust God? Yes. Am I going to keep working? Yes. Might I look for a part-time job? It's possible. Because sometimes in a season of lean, you need to be able to do what you need to do. Am I above anything? Absolutely not. Do I have some time on Saturday I can work? Yes. Do I have some time on Sunday evenings? Yes. Will that make my schedule busier than it is? Yes. But it will only be for a season. Could I possibly get some at-home work? Yes. I don't want to be a telemarketer. I don't want to be calling folks and asking them, do they want to buy stuff? I don't want to do any of that. So I'm going to be looking to see if there's something that either goes in the vein of what I already do that I can get, or something that at least I will enjoy that I can do on the weekends, or perhaps a night or two a week, just until I've saved up enough that I feel comfortable no longer working anymore, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. I have not had to have a part-time job in a long time, but somebody mentioned it in the summer, like, well, Shakima, you could get a part-time job. Very true. I had stayed home in the summer with my kids when they were little. They're not little anymore. So I really could find something. Y'all don't think this is morbid, but I'm really thinking about working at a funeral home. My dad works at a funeral home where he lives. I really think that I could be an asset to, I don't want to deal with the bodies or anything like that, but I could do, I could be a flower girl. I could drive. I could be a good support person, meet with the family type individual if someone was looking for that. So I'm really thinking about trying to find something in that vein, because I think it would just fit in with what I already do now as a minister, as a pastor. So anywho, those are just some ideas. So that's the budget, y'all. This is where we are. Y'all pray for us. Those of you who pray, if you pray against my finances, we would appreciate it if you didn't do that. But if you pray for my family, if you support our family in any way, please just pray for us, because like I said, it is tight. If I made sister pay me money to stay here, that would loosen things up a bit. But sister's saving her money, even though she doesn't pay me money, she's putting money in her. She is automatically put money in your savings, because when she moves out of this house, sister will have a nice little nest egg if she wants to purchase her own home. So I don't tax my children to live here. They can live here for free as long as they want. And so I want that for her. But anywho, y'all, there it is. I hope that blessed you to be able to kind of see where we are and to know that we're human. You know, it's not always, I don't bring home six figures in the social spaces. Some people do. I don't have enough drama in my life for that. I just don't. And I don't want any. I'm very good just sharing what I share here, and there it is. Very good. So anywho, thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you liked the video, don't forget to share, subscribe, and Rachel, when you watch this later, if I forgot anything, let your girl know. I did forget something. I know I already did. It was something about the dogs. It was the dogs' yearly exams. I forgot that. I didn't put that on here, and it won't get done this month. That's all I'm saying. So anywho, thank y'all again for watching. Appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next time. Bye now. Bye, everybody. See y'all later.